All right, let's jump into the show. Let's get into quick fire. This season, our hosts share a topic, but we only have 3 minutes to discuss and 1 minute for audience comments. So type your comments fast. I've added a mute button for anyone who decides to keep talking after time is up. Let's do it. All right, Robbie, you got some breaking news.
All right. So Travis Scott was performing at the Astroworld Music Festival in Houston, Texas, just the other night. And during the concert, a panic set in. At least 8 people were killed in a stampede. 11 people went into cardiac arrest and were ushered to the hospital. More than 300 fans had to go to the field hospital near the venue. Uh, so far, it's just preliminary reports, and it's absolute madness and pandemonium. A lot of heart wrenching videos from the actual concert goers. Now, through the reports, what I've gathered so far is that the show was stopped several times, and there are reports of people being unwillingly injected or stabbed, if you will, collapsing and being resuscitated using Narcan kits that are used for opioid IDs. Um, so I'm really just looking for some discussion on this because these are tragedies that are absolutely preventable. I'm just curious what people have come across so far with this developing story and what their thoughts are.
Sorry, Gianni.
From what I've come across, I feel there are a lot of um I think that the drugs were involved with a lot of the scenarios. Not saying that that is the cause of the mob stampede situation and for people to be able to not breathe, but I think that that like drug use coupled with probably um which I didn't know that people were getting stabbed. That's interesting, in the neck with some type of something. So that
At
can
least
be
one
the
person.
cause of. Oh, I heard possibly a security guard as
The
well.
security guard is the one person that
The,
police
the
have
security
Oh,
guard is
one
the
person.
confirmed report.
confirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so I don't know. I think that I've been to a concert, and just from my experience, I know that the stage and being in the back or being in a different, like outside of the stage, is a completely different world. Even though you're able to hear things, nobody's able to hear you. So, um, and just seeing the reports and seeing the young woman jump onto the stage and tell people, like personnel staff, that hey, people are dying here, and them just kind of waving them off, that kind of shows me a bigger
Let's
problem.
get
But
let's get Lizzie in
yeah.
here real quick.
I mean, just to piggyback, off of what Gianni's saying, like the young lady that jumped on stage, she approached a cameraman that has huge headphones on, in a cacophony of noise, music, confusion or whatever. I applaud her effort, but I don't necessarily blame the cameraman. He can't hear anything. And technically,
Mhm.
she's not supposed to be on stage to begin with. So a fan that jumps on stage, immediately everyone's like, whoa, get the fuck back. You're not supposed to be here. So I think
Yeah.
it's, really not fair to assign blame to that person. But in addition to that, fans need to calm down when they go to these concerts.
Yeah.
Go and enjoy the music.
All right,
Go
Robbie,
and
I'm gonna
enjoy
give
the
you about
music.
20 seconds. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, just hearing what the ladies are saying, I'm on board. I'm looking forward to the after show because I definitely have a lot more to say about Travis Scott and his responsibility in all of this. I understand that he's put out an apology video or just saying a video saying how he has been impacted by this. Um, but there's a lot of things that could have been done differently that could have prevented some deaths and a lot of injuries. That's for sure.
All right. So we've got some comments online. Jose says, "This is so heartbreaking. Astroworld, so tragic." Jacqueline Robinson's, "What the actual hell? Is this a common feature with travesty Scott's shows?" Um,
Ooh.
and I just want to let everyone know we're gonna go a little more in depth in this on the after show after the show ends. You can find that at truth, excuse me, at TLS Show, TLSfans.com Facebook page. So just go to TLSfans.com Facebook page. You can actually go there and sign up right now, and you'll be ready for the after show. All right. Is this Truth, Lies, or Shenanigans, guys?
Ooh.
I don't all of it. I don't even.
So until more facts start coming out, this is all kinds of shenanigans, and I'm sure there will be some truth and lies being flung about.
I've got shenanigans. Johnny, you said all of it, and like Lizzie's
Yeah.
got some shenanigans going on. All right, let's move on to our next quick fire topic. All right, this
Not
is a little more fun. So, guys, this past week, TikToker Ricardo Land posted a video of himself delivering food to a Washington, D.C. Popeyes on Capitol Hill near the famed Eastern Market. So, I'm going to share with you the video real quick.
Y'all want to see something? I deliver all raw chicken to all the Popeyes in the D.C. area. This joint right here. It's this joint right here. That's some wild shit. All right, we going there. Watch this shit right here. This is Popeyes. Love that chicken from Popeyes. Look.
Turn the lights on. Rats
Rats
everywhere. He's not looking at
this shit. These
the
motherfuckers.
walls.
Look at them.
Lord
That's-
have
Oh
mercy.
my God.
That's 5 or 6.
I didn't watch the whole thing.
Look at them.
I had to cut
Shit.
some of the video off.
Look at them.
There's even more.
Look at them motherfuckers.
On top of that, they
You
have all
seen
these
them on
boxes
them,
of
Joe?
food and stuff
15
on
of
the
them
floor.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
He's stupid. Anyway,
Yeah.
rats were everywhere. So the restaurant was closed by the health department and it lost its franchise rights with Popeyes. So my question is simple. Do you guys still love that chicken from Popeyes? Lizzie, you still love that chicken from Popeyes?
I don't eat meat, so
So
this
you
doesn't
don't love
apply
that
to me.
chicken? Robbie.
Yeah.
I don't
Have
have
you
a
had Rob-
Popeyes.
Are there
I don't
Popeyes
have
in
a
Canada?
Popeyes anywhere near me.
So you've
There
never had
probably is,
Popeyes?
like in Toronto, there's like in a metropolitan center. I'm sure there is, but I had to look up that slogan because I needed to go all Anchorman 2 on this and just say, "Love that chicken in the streets" from Popeyes.
The streets. Gianni, you eating that Popeyes chicken?
Hey, so I actually was a Popeyes fan. I didn't get to watch the full video because I
What?
couldn't.
Good.
But now that
Good.
Neo fed us to watch it, it was that's really disturbing. I have to rethink my life choices.
I will say.
One thing.
Go ahead. Liz.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say. I will
one
say.
thing that
So I will
gross.
say I was. I've known this Popeyes for a long time. Like I knew it growing up, and it has always been nasty. This particular Popeye. So it's about time. So all I got. We're gonna say, Liz.
Oh my God.
Also, it's important to note that it's not the company. Like Popeyes, they sell their franchises. So this is an individual operator and
Mhm.
owner who is nasty, which is
Horrible
why
one.
they have severed their agreement with this particular operator. This isn't necessarily a slight against Popeyes chicken nationwide. Just this nasty motherfucker who
But to
apparently
be
likes
fair, a
to
lot
live
of Popeyes
in.
are kind of
The Popeyes near
little.
me is great.
They look
No.
a lot of Popeyes in general look a little bit sketch. But this is an extreme case, and I heard that they were actually not shut down because
All right,
of the
Gianni,
rats.
I'm gonna
It was
have to
because
mute
of-
you. Sorry. Quick fire's over. All right. So let me get these comments online. Jose says, I've never had Popeyes. And then Karen Thompson says, the Popeyes video with the rats is disgusting.
Thank
Jacqueline
you, Karen.
Robinson.
That's why I didn't look.
In addition to the aggressive rodents, there were also reports of standing water in the refrigerator areas, as well as the freezer not being set below zero, a breeding ground for bacteria. So yes.
It also is a slight against the health department. Like, come on, y'all.
They should have
Come
got
on,
that a
y'all.
long time ago. All right, let's get to our third and
That's
final
some
quick
straight
fire. Oh, yeah. Is this
shenanigans.
shenanigans? Is this
Straight up
truth?
shenanigans.
Question: is this truth, lies, or shenanigans? Shenanigans. True
We
shenanigans.
don't do vermin. We don't do rodents, y'all. We don't do rodent chicken.
Rodent
This
chicken.
is like, no.
I like that. All
Mm-mm.
right, everybody's got shenanigans all around. Oh, Olivia says it is the company's fault too. There should be internal safety sanitation inspections all the time as well. I I'll agree with
that's the
Right.
Department of Health, though. That's I mean, they have Popeyes has
Mm.
thousands upon thousands of franchises and locations. It's the
District
U.S. Health
manager.
Department that
that.
is supposed to be taking care of that, and the district manager for Washington D.C.
Yep,
So
that should be
our
done.
tax
Yeah.
dollars are not being spent very well as it relates to safety in
Well,
our
Liz's
restaurants,
tax
because
dollars.
I
Your
guarantee
tax
you, I
dollars aren't being
guarantee
spent
you,
wisely where it comes to Popeyes. I understand.
I guarantee you,
All right,
Popeyes is not the only location. You think all the rats were just going to
we
that one Eastern Market
all right, we got to move
restaurant?
on. We got to move on. All right.
Shh.
So, quick fire number 3. Robbie, you want to talk about some drones?
Yeah, so U.S. Army sources are describing a training exercise that took place at the Joint Readiness Training Center at Fort Polk, Louisiana in September as a historic first. This was the first time that soldiers faced simulated enemy robots during a training exercise. So these robots were used as an economy of force asset. And what that means is that the robots are being used to conduct secondary tasks in an effort to free up more important and more powerful units, in this instance, the Marines, the soldiers themselves. So the robots were attached to the 1st Battalion of the 509th Infantry Airborne, who played the role of the enemy force. And they were used to block an intersection and for 36 hours of guard duty to guard a helicopter landing zone. So I want to get some impressions from my co hosts on the future of warfare. Your military force is actively training to meet robotic soldiers of the future. The Skynet starting to happen?
Skynet from Terminator. Lizzie, what do you think?
Yeah.
Um, Honestly, I'm surprised that it hasn't happened before now. Especially here in the United States, with technology being what it is, with our government always being paranoid about having the upper hand when it comes to warfare and weapons. Um, it makes me scared and skeptical a little bit, because if we start thinking about, okay, we're not really, if we get into a war, a battle, we're only fighting robots and humans aren't involved, I think we will get to a place where we just don't really care about human casualties in the surrounding area. So this makes me a little
Mm.
nervous. This
Yeah.
makes me a little nervous.
Yanni?
To piggyback off of what Liz said, I think that um, I believe that I thought that it happened sooner, because I felt like the future of warfare would have been probably more like biological, or like cyber attacks, something more along those lines, which it probably is. Like, if I was to attack, like if I was to have war against another
Good point.
country, I'd probably attack on all of those levels.
Mhm.
So yeah, just that's interesting. And then I forgot actually what I was just about to say. It was something about what Liz said about autonomous weapons.
That's
But
fine. Now I think it's just a matter of time, and the only way we prevent Skynet, which is the evil, AI, is to ensure good parents, which means we're teaching AI empathy. If the first true sentient AI is taught by, for example, power mongers and military, then humanity's done. Humanity's done.
Mm.
I mean, we've got to be teaching AIs empathy. That's got to be the key to AI, because it's going to happen. AI is coming. Sentient AIs. All right. Let's get to these comments online. Actually, let's see. No comments on this one. We just got Olivia did want to respond. No, it's not the Department of Health. It's an internal health inspector, a third party. All companies have them. It's actually more difficult to pass an internal health inspection from.
It's actually the Food and Drug Administration, which is a part of the health department, the Department of Health.
But it,
So there are 4 different branches that are involved in this.
there are numerous. Well, I think what she was trying to say was that it's still Popeye's fault, because they should be doing internal inspections for Popeyes, and they hadn't been. I think that's what she's trying.
But that's not how franchises work. That's not how franchises work with companies. If you are a company that has a
Nah, I don't
franchise,
think that's the case. I've looked into franchises, and they definitely do internal audits.
but they're not responsible, they're not legally responsible to do that. It's the Food and Drug Administration, it's the Department of Health because it's a government issue. Because if that were the case, then there would be certain people that they wouldn't even be giving franchises to. It's up to the owner, the person who owns this business, this restaurant. They are responsible. Popeyes just has the name on it.
Yeah.
Popeyes just
Yeah.
has the name on it.
Yeah. All right. No comments on that. So, Robbie, I'll give you 20 seconds if you have something you want to say.
Yeah, I found really neat is that in this exercise, the robots and the drones were basically on guard duty, which is something that is dreary and tedious for soldiers. A lot of people, as you know, as you fatigue, you're not picking up on what you should be picking up on. So to have these robots and drones equipped with sensory arrays that exceed our capabilities, I think is absolutely brilliant because, as you've all alluded to, I think it's only a matter of time before the troops are facing off against robots that are trying to kill them. Came across an amazing little killing machine from Russia. The Uran 9 tank is a fully automated tank. And at this point, it's who can afford it, who can put it on the battlefield, and like you said, it's casualties become a secondary figure when you start talking about this kind of hardware out in the field. So it is a little scary to see what it's turning into.
All right.
During Bush number two's administration, when we got into the fight or the war with Iraq over WMDs, I always felt like, there were a bunch of people, in the Department of Defense playing Battleship, right? Not really seeing this as like a real war with real people. They're just moving parts in a board game. And that's what this sounds like. That's what this sounds like.
Yeah. All right. That is it for our quick fire. Good job, guys. All right. So for today's sponsor for our quick fire was Infinite Drip brand clothing for sweatpants, sweatshirts, and basics galore. Visit Infinite Drip brand clothing and get the fall season dripped out. Check the description for the link or go to infinitedripllc.com. Hey, now it's time.